Our guardian has undergone many trials. We've killed gods and usurpers. We've gained power and powerful gear. We've died and been resurrected. But with the corridors of time, accessible through Osiris' sundial during the season of dawn, have we seen our true death? Welcome back, Guardians, to another Embrace Destiny video. Kaz PhD here. Today we're talking about the lore and implications behind the corridors of time and the Bastion quest. If you're looking for quick, bite-sized thoughts, do check out the description below. For the rest of you, this video will explore the lore behind the vault and the quest, with some speculation toward the end as to what's coming. In case you've been busy in deep space or hard at work in the last city or elsewhere, the corridors of time are an interdimensional pathway unlocked through Osiris' sundial. Originally created to help Osiris find the long-lost Saint 14, Osiris modified the sundial to help stem the Cabal's efforts to fracture time and undo their loss of the Red War. Earlier this season, our Guardian was able to track a mysterious signal back to 2 moments in Saint 14's life, and arm him not only literally with the perfect paradox shotgun, but with hope. We saved him, inspired him to keep fighting, and the result was that he was able to escape the Infinite Forest and come back to the city. More of my thoughts on this are posted in an earlier video. I'll put the link in the description below. Additionally, we are then able to navigate the corridors to find pieces of the Pigeon and the Phoenix lore book, along with an emblem. We can go into the details behind this book at another time, but I'll just say that it's an excellent perspective of the early days of the Last City, the Battle of Six Fronts, and provides more insight into the relationships between Osiris, Saint, and the Speaker. Also, little point, while Osiris isn't exactly qualified to be the next Speaker, I gain more respect for him as a potential candidate for humanity's leader while reading about how he managed his echoes during the Battle of Six Fronts. In the corridors, every time we ran a successful code, we converged in the same place, the time-lost vault. Here, a lone grave etched with a sword, ghost, and a crest of the Vanguard. Theories were presented, and many were confirmed when the 30-symbol sequence was later discovered by the greater Guardian community. Thanks to their hard work, we were able to navigate the corridors to retrieve a weapon core and hear distorted dialogue, presumably from the future. Here we can hear Saint 14 giving a eulogy for us. He names us, lists our titles and achievements, and laments our absence. He speaks of inspiration and willing others to rise up to fill our role, but he also leaves a wish directly meant for us, a wish that we would somehow perform a miracle and circumvent our death. Heavy stuff. I mean, Guardians die all the time, but it's not every day when we encounter our own grave. Worse yet, we have seen time travel in Destiny, and it does not lend itself to time travel changing fate. If you haven't yet, I would recommend the pre-Golden Age text entitled The Merchant and the Alchemist's Gate. This book has themes similar to what we have seen with Saint 14 earlier this season. In this short novel, characters discover time travel, but despite their best efforts, they find that their actions are not able to change the past, but rather to contribute to them. With Saint, we saw his grave in Curse of Osiris, but we also forged the perfect paradox. Said gun implied that Saint already knew us, and had received the gun from us, and was giving it back. Then, in Season of Dawn, we meet Saint and give him the perfect paradox. The loop is complete. We did not exactly change the timeline, but contributed to it. If that's the case, what does this grave mean? It would seem that we are destined to die, or at least be believed dead by Saint and the others in the Last City. Yet, Guardians who have explored the Vault of Glass may remember that Guardians make their own fate. There, we were able to circumvent the Vex's attempts to limit the timeline to wipe us out. So, who knows? I think the most likely case is exactly as Saint suggested. We will die, somehow. We will face a greater force and be believed lost. But we will find a way around it. Not to prevent our death, but circumvent it. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. After we hear this eulogy, we find a weapon core and begin a new quest. Taking this to Saint, he indicates that a signal seems to be emanating from the Tangled Shore. Thinking it best if we go rather than him, given his history with the Fallen, we seek out the Spider. Joyful for another opportunity to have us owe him a favor, Spider tells us to seek out intel in the Empty Tank Lost Sector. Side note, I love this Lost Sector, and I love that we have seen more of it in-game and in the comics collection, as a seedy bar full of illegal activities, drink, music, and questionable individuals. After cracking some knuckles, and some heads, and scaring up intel on the Tangled Shore, we learn about Raisk, a long-dead Fallen. Raisk has been around when Saint was on his original crusade to crush the Fallen, and had actually recovered Bastion, the exotic fusion rifle. After he died, his grave found in the Trapper's Cave Lost Sector in Fourhorn Gulch, he was revived as a Scorn via corrupted ether, just as the Fanatic and other barons we faced during Forsaken. Finally, we confronted Raisk, the Waning, and retrieved Bastion, swearing to never again use it to kill Guardians. Saint let us keep the gun with his blessing. What might have been missed by some of you, depending on how meticulous your ghost is, was the item Raisk's Last Words found in our inventory along with Bastion. I would like to read it all out, comment on some aspects, and then finish the video by highlighting the main points and speculating about our future. I released Catch from Shore, followed Tomb Road Myth, found Kelbreaker's Lightcaster. I did this, none other. The Godsteel fragment gleamed, tight-held, felt like old stories, felt like golden memories, burned like mislaid continents. Many lost. I returned, head sunk, pride heavy, fearful. You rewarded ambitions, you did. Took drag and gave vandal, our shoulders aligned broad. I hunted, my prey light scattered to the stars. You bestowed captain, to equal you, beyond you, I believed. I left as light wielder, hunt light thieves, kill the killers. Your warnings made true. The light thieves rode vengeance. They ate death. I was not enough. Truth speaker, forgive. Grant me the old bond burial. Everything I name to you. So, Kelbreaker's Lightcaster, I believe that's Raisk saying he found Bastion, and talking about how powerful it made him feel. Then he goes on to talk directly to someone who rewarded ambitions from Drag to Vandal to Captain. He then talks about leaving as Light Wielder, hunting light thieves. Here, I believe that Raisk is referring to Bastion and Guardians, wielding not the light exactly, but a weapon born from a light wielder, a Guardian, Saint 14. Bastion has etches on it in the lore tab, one for every Guardian that Raisk killed. Many, if not most, of the Fallen hate humanity for, quote, stealing the light, the Traveler. Then, the final phrases talking about the old bond burial. So, here is some speculation for you. I believe that Raisk is talking to Varix, or maybe to Aramis. All of the mentions of rewarding ambitions and rising through the ranks are consistent with Fallen hierarchy. Remember, their society basically rewards Elixni with ether, and the more of it they have, the bigger and stronger they get. Currently, the Fallen are quite scattered, but there are leaders among them. These are named in the Outliers lore card in the Stolen Intelligence lore book and include Mithrax, Varix, Spider, Aramis, and the Fanatic. Mithrax has shown himself to move away from traditional Fallen ways, seen during the 0 Hour mission. So has Spider. The Fanatic, though a contender here, especially as Raisk was resurrected as a Scorn, seems less likely, as the Scorn don't want to follow the old traditions of the Fallen either. That leaves Varix and Aramis. The latter has a strong case, as she seems a traditional Fallen leader, but Varix is a more interesting choice. Having left at the beginning of Forsaken, we haven't heard from him since. While Varix hated the way that dregs had their arms docked and restricted, he is a strong supporter of the old ways. So until we know more, or unless I hear some really compelling evidence, maybe you have something in the comments below, I'm thinking that Varix may have played a hand here, or that Aramis will be a more greater threat than we believed. Bringing it all together and looking ahead. We found our grave. We heard a eulogy about us. We've seen time travel recently, where fate isn't rewritten, but rather contributed to. We found a weapon, whose quest led us to the Tangled Shore. There we found out that corrupted ether can either revive long-dead fallen, or at least is continuing to create scorn. And we know two things for certain. We will likely be presumed dead in the future, and we owe Spider a huge favor which we know he will try to cash in. What's coming? Stepping outside the game for a moment, I've heard speculation regarding a hard reset, our Guardian dying going into Destiny 3 in 2021 or later. It's tough to say. While having a new game with a new engine, going live onto new consoles would be great, and would prevent splitting platforms like Destiny 1 ended up doing during the end of its life, I'm not sure that's the plan. Bungie has been very focused on wanting to improve this game, and hasn't mentioned Destiny 3. But still, what's coming this September and onward is really up for debate. Back into the game and the lore. I believe that we will have a Fallen-themed season, either next season or the one thereafter. We have not had a Fallen-focused DLC or season since Rise of Iron, and there are many loose ends to pull together. Where is Varix? What will happen with Mithrax and Aramis? Will the Fallen ever be completely defeated? Will some become our allies? If Saint sticks around, how will we feel about this? How will he feel about this? How will all the Guardians in the Vanguard feel about Varix, knowing that he let the Barons escape the Prison of Elders? Many threads, all flying in the wind like Saint's purple ribbons. I believe that the end of this year will bring Destiny 2's Avenger Endgame-like event, where all the allies we've made will come together to fight with us against Savathûn, maybe the Darkness. I believe that in order for that to happen, we need to sort out the Fallen storylines. And I believe that whatever we face, it will be too big for us alone, possibly leading to our Guardian's death. But that's speculation that we'll just have to wait and see. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the Corridors of Time, this season's quests, and Bastion? As always, I would love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. I will keep working to bring ideas and lore to you all in a clear, all-encompassing manner. That's it for the video today. Thank you all very much for watching. Looking forward to unfolding this together, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.